No tax rises for working people, and I'll spell that out. No income tax, no national insurance, no VAT.
I don't want to increase taxes on working people.
Not increasing tax on working people.
A clear promise from the government, made murky with a somewhat confusing definition of who exactly a working person is.
What I mean, or if you like, who I have in my mind's eye when I make decisions as Prime Minister, are the sorts of working people who go out, work hard, and maybe save a bit of money, but don't have the wherewithal to write a cheque to get out of difficulties if they and their family get into difficulties.
So for someone who works but gets their income from assets as well, such as shares of property, are they a working person?
Well, they wouldn't come within my definition.
With the budget looming, market traders in Hitchin are bracing themselves for the government's tax plans next week. Once a Tory stronghold, Labour won here at the last election.
Do you describe yourself as working people?
I would, yes, but everybody works in different ways.
Can I ask, do you have any assets or money that you're getting from shares?
I've got a few shares, but it's insignificant. You know, if you've worked all your life and you've invested in your future, why shouldn't you be allowed to keep it?
If they've worked for it all their life, then that's fine. If they've had it handed down to them generation after generation, I think that's a completely different thing. There needs to be more definition around how did you come to that end point of having that accumulated wealth.
All you hear about is, oh, I'm a son of a toolmaker. Well, so am I. I ain't rich. Yeah, I'm not a rich man. They're just not in the real world no more.
So you don't feel a kinship with him because of that?
They're just so out of touch with the real world.
Today, Downing Street clarified that those with a small amount of savings could still be defined as working people, but some experts and the opposition say this is still too vague.
I think it's outrageous that Keir Starmer is claiming that people who have a small amount of savings or have invested a little bit in shares somehow don't count as working people and are therefore at risk of being clobbered with enormous tax rises in his budget next week.
If the Prime Minister has a specific definition of a working person, he should probably tell us. In reality, I think it's pretty hard to think of any increase in tax that wouldn't affect somebody who gets some income from being in paid work.
Labour say they will not raise taxes to those who they consider working people. But with crumbling buildings, an overburdened NHS and a £22 billion black hole, working people will have to accept that some difficult decisions will be made. Serena Barker-Singh, Sky News, Hitchin.